The first exercise will start with the morning sweet sip. Give the body absolute freedom. Pull as you like. The body itself will tell you where, why, and why. The feeling of this sipping is the very life energy that permeates our body, which sets the rhythm from the very morning until you go to sleep. The brighter the sensation of this pull-up, the faster you enter the life cycle altogether, and emotionally you are just as involved in life. It's not just physical movement. It's the actual inclusion. Well, now we're going to exercise. We pull our hand one way to open the chest and the side of the chest. This is how we get oxygen into the lungs. The diaphragm is activated. Now we do a similar exercise with the movement of the elbow. Pull the elbow on ourselves. Now, to get even more involved, we need to do some breathing exercises. Let's do it together. We do each exercise 8 times. We place our hands like this, like holding a bar. We lift our hands up on the breath and such sharp exhalation as if we inflate the ball. We just drop our hands down. So we do it 8 times. Our next set of exercises is to unlock the shoulder belt. With any kind of stress, as physical, mental, or psychological, a person intuitively clamps. But unlike physical stress, where we can see the end of some factor that we're scared of or something, mental, emotional pressure on us, it is invisible and therefore impossible to determine where to end this clamp. And as a result, our shoulders are conditioned all the time in such a blocked position. First of all, it is, of course, the shoulder belt. To unlock the shoulder belt, we will now perform exercises. One of them looks like this. Imagine we're picking up something. We lift the shoulder almost to the ear, as far as possible. We lift, and with exhalation we throw the shoulder down. If your shoulders are so tight that you cannot lift, you can lean on the back of the chair, or the windowsill, or table, in order to stretch your shoulder like this. Look at. So we're leaning on the back of the chair. Thus, we perform this exercise 4 times with an exhalation powerful. And that's exactly how we switch sides. Then we reinforce this exercise with the shoulder. But to keep our body from moving behind our shoulder, we put our hand on the opposite side of the chest and turn the shoulder already with maximum amplitude, but without moving the body. Also do 4 or 8 times. Then we turn on 2 shoulders, and we are fully connected to the body. That is, the muscles of the back are almost completely involved in this process. We also go one way and the other way. Then we put our hands out. We turn the palm upwards, there you need to look at face, look. Turn the other way. So we do it 8 times. At the same time, you can strengthen this movement, as if we were being pulled out. After that, your hands shake, relax. And once again only in an enhanced version. That is, when we turn this hand and turn the shoulder. And that twist, as if we're squeezing a towel wet. We need to turn on the shoulders well. But at the same time they stretch and relax the muscles of the shoulders. The next exercise block. We'll lower our focus on our legs. Because there are also very important elements that can improve circulation and informativeness. So our feet are our supports, and we have a direct connection to our brain, our central nervous system. In the Eastern canons, these are also such energy channels. So we do a little leg workout. First of all, we turn on the feet. Our task is to raise our feet to the toes. And do it as abruptly as possible, so that all our muscles come to tone. Circulatory system and so on, so we do 10 times. Lift as if we want to jump or reach something on the toes. And the second element is that we pick up our socks on the contrary, and we clap our heels on the floor like that. This vibration is good for tone and the whole blood system. And we begin to feel. That is, the kind of sensors give us the necessary signals so that we have good control of the legs. We do the same thing 10 times. The next element that allows you to unlock the area of the hip joints is to try to throw the leg through the leg. We put the opposite hand, and with the second hand we put it in the thigh, and try to stretch the body. Turn the opposite from the raised leg to the side. So we do it 3 or 4 times in one direction, and try to do it in the other. We are well prepared our body physically, now we go to the whole block of exercises, which is already a kind of subtle setting we will perform. And these two are simple exercises, but already on a more subtle level. The first is to rub your palms. Because our palms are full of reflex points. We activate them well like this. The next thing we do is we squeeze each finger from the base of the palm like this. We're pushing as hard as we can. We'll activate all these reflex points. The next movement is the heating of the central zone. Here we have a kind of energy node, the so-called zone or Laogun point. So there's a whole clot of nerve endings and energy points. We warm up with our fingers as if we have got something dirty, and we need to wipe off our palms. This is how we warm up our palm. The next element is the impact on the active point, which is located between the index finger and the thumb. Right at this junction. It will not be difficult to find it. That is, you take a finger, and about the center begin to give way. And immediately you will feel where the most sensitive area. There we are, like a kind of drilling motion 12 times pressed. First one hand and then the same on the other. This element can still be done on both sides like tongs. But in general, this is the impact that is most important to us. So the next action. We warm up the palms and actively clap hands 8 times. When opening the chest, the claps should be as strong as possible. Then cover your eyes. We remove your hands to the side, as if in this suspended state they keep. And with your inner vision, try to feel some kind of heat. Some goosebumps, some pulsation, or other manifestations. They can be different. The main thing is to feel your palms. How receptive they are to the outer space. Then put your hands on your knees. And also you can leave your eyes covered, you can open. But the task is to feel the warmth of your palms with your knees. In fact, there might even be some circulation of this heat. By the way, this is a good element of self-healing and self-healing, which is very widely used in Eastern practices. And in China, all over Southeast Asia, in Tibetan medicine. This is very vividly represented. When we warmed our palms like this, as I just showed you, we clapped in the previous version. And we exposed to any sore spot, both kidney and knee, or something. In general, it is in our tradition. Not like our traditions, any man, if somewhere in pain he puts his hand there. And this amazing property is already in us nature. But another question is that now we can use it consciously. And by warming up our palms, including a whole set of biologically active reflex points here, we can do it purposefully. Of course, this is not a direct bright healing action. But if you do it regularly, and consciously, the effect will necessarily manifest. Moving forward. The next element is when we leave our hands on our knees and start clapping from bottom to top 3 times with one hand. And 3 times with the other. In this way we activate so-called energy channels. They are called meridians. These are chains of our muscles, ligaments, tendons, and electrical conductivity. In the Eastern canons, this flow of energy is flowing through these channels. And thanks to pats like this, we're incorporating a whole bunch of these channels, these meridians. And this is Jansky type. That is, we have this yin-yang formula. Jan is an opening. It is a call to action. It is our body open to all outside. And the yin movement of life energy is when we immerse all our processes, shall we say, into ourselves. I mean, it's thinking, it's an internal process. But any disease, whatever it is, has a stomach ache, headache, it all pulls off. It's all makes us curl up, tighten up. And Parkinson's has this effect, too, when you're constantly pulled down. Even the gait changes. the position of the hands changes, even in the hands, in the feet of such a twist. So disclosure, that is, the tonization of these processes, it allows all these negative effects of the disease to sort of compensate on the scales of our lives and even out these processes. So we move on. We slapped our hand on one side, on the other. Now from the waist to the feet also we do not hesitate to clap along the whole leg line. And then we make these kind of boats or these kind of firecrackers. And 12 times we punch through, we slam the knee area on one side. And on the other side. Then we raise our hand and open the side of our body. And here, too, with active clapping, we stimulate. First of all, here we have the lymph. Yes, there's a buildup of lymphatic fluid, but it also tones up all the internal organs. On the left side of the spleen are other organs, lungs included. That is, we eliminate all congestive processes in this way, and tones up all internal organs. So then we activate the reflex points on our ears. First we pinch the earlobes. This is active as if some kind of stapler or some kind of clothespin. You have to press well on the earlobes. Then we move along the edge of the outer ear, also pinching. Both ears, of course. The next stage is when we rub our ears, that is, softly, gently, so that there were no injuries. Slowly pulled in different directions. We create two such forks, rub them from the outside, from the inside. We also activate this whole zone. Here are the goats, behind the lymph node zone. There are also very powerful such energy zones. The next element is activation. Or shall we say impact? On the area where we have the occipital tubers. Or the hills also call them. Right with your fingers, we find just these bumps and begin to give way. As a rule, this is also a very painful or sensitive area. And with this spin, we sort of dissolve some lumps. We need to keep this area clear. Now, with the rest of our fingers, we start driving around the back of our heads like this. Taking away all the swelling, lymph congestion, improving blood flow, total blood flow. And then we have to take, and we have to turn the palms. And this is where the muscle that's so powerful is called the sternoclavicular mastoid muscle. We need to hook it and pull it back. And with the rest of our fingers, we move it like this from the spine to the edge. Try not only to rub the skin there, but it is there to lead. And now you can take your thumbs off. And here are the short extensors or the occipital muscles, and we need to stretch them out like this. I would like to place such emphasis on the fact that some patients have been treated and have stimulants. This area here, where the electrodes go, we either need to be very careful not to damage the electrodes and wires. Or we try not to do this exercise yet. In order not to harm, this is our main principle. That's how we got involved in the fine-tuning process. Complete this block. This movement opens the fingers, and such as washing movement is carried out first on the area of the face very carefully, and from the line of eyebrows through the hair with a good pressure passed. After this setting we still do a little bit of neck workout. Our task is to turn the head as far as possible. So do 4 times. And then we do the head tilts on the side. So that we have this little bit of tension. The stare muscles. Then, to stretch the front group of neck muscles even more, we tilt the head. Lift the chin up and move the jaw forward. Pronounce the inner sound and fully stretch this entire area. Head down, chin up, jaw up. And we repeat this motion twice on one side, then on the other side. This way, we have already prepared our muscles, reflex connections to the muscles, the brain, and the central nervous system, among other channels.